Last night on The Bachelor.
I'm a big Italian family here. When somebody brings somebody into the family, we want to test him a little bit to find out what his intentions are. You just kissed my daughter?
Get the out of here, Tommy.
You mother... I almost had him.
Hey, get a room.
It's Hometowns week on The Bachelor, and for Grant, this is gonna be a huge deal. Cause, you know, being part of a family is something that he feels he sort of missed out on as a child. His mom remarried, his dad is now getting his life together, and he says growing up, it was just him and his sister. So he's excited to meet, potentially, his future in-laws, and to give you a sneak peek, here's how each of the 4 hometowns are going to go.
A lesser manager would have screwed this day up royally.
Modeling to me isn't just about being good looking or having a lot of fun and being really, really good looking.
I am more than... Where's my family?
Now to start the week off, Grant is in Boston for this hometown. Or rather, it's a place about 20 minutes from Boston called Newton to meet the Pascarosas, who are well known in this Italian community. So of course, Juliana's gotta bring Grant into a local pizza shop, where here the owner greets Grant with the energy of...
Who's this guy?
This is my boyfriend, Grant.
Don't care. I don't care. You know how to make pizza?
I've never made a pizza, but I know how to make pasta.
I don't care.
Well, these two quickly get to work, because Juliana's got a big Italian family who are gonna want to eat a lot of pizza and then a lot of cannolis. Plus, this is gonna be a proper offering up to Juliana's dad, as Juliana claims that he's very protective of her, so you better put him in a good mood with cannolis and pies.
Well, I was actually gonna ask you, how many people am I meeting tonight?
So, my mom, my dad, my sister, my friends Mercedes, Paige, and Allie.
15 minutes later.
My Uncle Paul, my Auntie Cheryl, my cousins Andre, my cousin Marco, my Auntie Candy, my Uncle Tony, Nicole, my Auntie Lynn, my Uncle Liam,
Approximately 10 hours later.
my cousin Danny P, and my second cousin Vinny and Dana.
Oh, and she ain't lying. I don't think they brought enough cannolis.
Only 30% of the family could be here, Grant, just to FYI. You just kissed my daughter?
Sorry now.
In my house! Hey, get a room.
Ooh, Grant's lucky he filled Juliana's dad up on pizza the moment he walked in, cause otherwise this one could have been ugly. But one thing that comes up quickly is Juliana's connection with her friends and the saying that they use.
There's a lot of pressure on me.
Wolf or die.
Which is a pretty big thing for Grant because of his lone wolf tattoo, and he also wants a pack sorta like that. So, seeing how protective and loyal Juliana's family is with her is actually a big positive for Grant. Like all through this, he's smiling and telling Carl here how much he respects his perspective. And so, the scary Italian dad from the previews isn't so scary after all, as he approves of Grant. Which, after feeling the love and feeling the big family pack around him, at the end of the night, has Grant saying this to Juliana.
You know, after our last conversation, you said that you think you could be falling for me, and I am doing the same. I'm falling for you, and I feel like...
Wow, those must have been really good cannolis. On to the next hometown, this time with Zoe, who is about to have her first solo date with Grant, which is wild. And it's in New York City, where Zoe is from, but not where she grew up, as Grant won't actually be meeting her adoptive parents. She's estranged from them. Instead, he'll be face to face with Zoe's truest loved one, modeling, where here they'll be doing an engagement/wedding photo shoot to show what, I don't know, everyday life with Zoe is like. But while Grant won't be meeting Zoe's adoptive parents, he will be going to meet Zoe's sister and aunt and uncle. So these are the folks that are going to be coming in with the important questions.
I want to get to know you.
Listen, I'm open to all questions and all grilling.
Okay, I got one for them to ask you. So Grant, how many dates have you and Zoe been on? Like, I still can't get over the fact that if they asked him how their first date went, Grant would have to say, I don't know, I'll tell you when it's over.
The 3 that are left, like, all got romantic, like, extravagant dates throughout this process.
Why haven't you had one yet?
Well, that was a question I had. You can ask him.
So Zoe's sister Faith asks Grant what's up, and since Grant can't say, well, we haven't been on dates because he's really only deciding between Latia and Juliana, he says it's because he felt her and Zoe were holding things back, but when Zoe started opening up, that's all he needed to hear to get to this point, which, sure, bud.
We're locked in, and our connection just started later. It wasn't too late, it was right on time.
He then says he's not falling in love with Zoe yet, but meeting the family is bringing him closer, and I mean, just looking back on Juliana's hometown versus this one, like, what are we even doing here? We don't even get a big declaration of feelings at the end of the night from either of them. Come on, production, are you even trying to fool us into thinking these two have a shot? But alright, with that done, we're on to the other big hometown of the week, both in size and importance, Latia's very Mormon hometown, where her family is gathered in Wyoming at Latia's late grandma's house. And Grant has no idea what to expect. I mean, the big Italian family was supposed to be scary, maybe the Mormons will be cutthroat instead of the ones like he saw in that musical he went to.
Hello, would you like to change religions? I have a free book written by Jesus.
So once more, Grant meets a big family, but everyone is super nice and no one pulls out the Book of Mormon. And Latia's father, not her biological one, but Rob here is still listed as her father, he tells Grant that he doesn't have to be a Mormon to be a member of the family. While Latia sits down with her grandfather and discusses a similar time when her mom brought home someone who didn't look like anyone else in the family. Her dad, and how welcoming everyone was to him, just like today with Grant.
He was such an easy man to love.
Yeah.
You know, and you got 3 months of him. I never hesitated for a second, thinking that he would be the right guy for your mom.
And Grandpa says it seems like she feels the same way her mom did. So, upon hearing that, Latia has a secret to share.
You're safe with me, I don't tell anybody.
I know. I think that I love him. I think that I love him.
So Latia is feeling the love, and she sits down with her mom to reveal the same thing she told her grandpa, saying that hearing about Grant's loneliness growing up just made her want to give him everything he never got as a kid.
It just made me so sad, and I want to give him a family that loves him, and I want to give him I want him to know what it feels like.
So the hometown comes to a close, production pulls out the bench, and you know what that means. We're getting the L word.
I'm just falling in love with you.
Wow. Whoa.
Wow, whoa. Wow, whoa indeed. On to the final one-on-one. And Grant's been loving the big family get-togethers. It's what he's always wanted. So Dena's hometown in Chicago is going to be great. She's got 11 siblings or something?
The fact that Dena has such a large family and she's so close to them, it makes me happy.
Yeah, can't wait to meet them. Nothing's gonna get in the way of this day.
I wanted you to meet them, but they will not be here, and you're not gonna get to meet them.
So apparently Dad's a deacon and doesn't like the premise of the show, so no one is here? You couldn't even get one of the siblings to come out and just be there so at least she isn't left alone? Ugh, just makes me sad. You know, you don't have to approve of the show to go on it, or at least to do something to support your child in a very important moment of their life. Or worse yet, she actually gets married to the guy and you weren't there to meet him. And this just completely sets the tone for the rest of the date in the worst way.
He's bummed out, understandably, and I think that he sees that I'm a little bit more uncomfortable. That one looks sad, so I'm not gonna pick him.
Oh, that's depressing. However, Grant will be meeting Dena's friends, who Dena insists know her, maybe even better than her family. So Dena's friends come in and tell Grant that Dena's family will love him once they see him and see that they're both serious. After that, they're gonna just invite him in so easily. Even so, the date is just flat, and we have another discussion about if she's in love with him, where Dena sort of says, I'm kind of falling for him, almost like with Zoe. But I mean, compare that to Juliana and Latia, things are just just not on the same level. So this hometown ends in a rather lackluster way, and production decides to bring in Joey because Grant needs some advice. I mean, it's gonna be real hard for him to figure out who to send home of the 2 women he's going to send home at some point anyway. All the while, Dena is forced to sit here at a special Final Four gathering, listening to people like Latia and Juliana talk about how all of their family members were there and it went so well.
All the kids in my family were there, and my niece and nephew came.
I'm a little nervous. I'm the only person that didn't have that opportunity to have him meet my family. I think if I were Grant, it would give me like a little bit of pause.
Well, Joey then sends Grant off, telling him to listen to his gut feeling, and it's time now for the Final Four rose ceremony. So, who's moving on to Fantasy Suites? Well, no surprise here, Latia and Juliana quickly snag up the first 2 spots, and this one then comes down to either Dena or Zoe.
So,
wild. Dena is headed home, and Zoe gets a second date at Fantasy Suites. Huh. I mean, usually you wait at least until date 3 to do that. So that's it for this recap of The Bachelor Week 6 and Hometowns. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
Who's this guy?
This is my boyfriend, Grant.
I don't care.